ajá àtúgbẹ̀ ajá tí forí ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ jẹ̀bọ̀ ni ajá tó mọ ọmọ tiẹ̀ fún lọ́mú tó sì mọ tètè àkìmọ́lẹ̀ lẹ́kì wọ́gbẹ̀ gbórí ogun wáyé ni o ọjọ́ kan jọ̀kan ọjọ́ kan jọ̀kan lọ́jọ́ tí lẹ́kì wọ́gbẹ̀ tẹ̀lé ọ̀gá rẹ̀ lọ sí ojú ogun ó sojú ikú jẹ́ iyọ̀ olórí awo ó sojú òjò òkègbè olórí ìmùlẹ̀ bí túnbẹ̀ ṣe ń gbé ẹbọ lọ wájú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni lẹ́kì wọ́gbẹ̀ ń gbó tẹ̀lé ó di kìrìkàtà ó di kàràkìtì làwọn òkété bá fẹ́ jáde láti inú sà lọ́sàn-án gan lẹ́kì wọ́gbẹ̀ gbá tẹ̀lé wọn ló bá kìkan lórí mọ́lẹ̀ ìjẹ́ kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní mọ jẹ́ ní túgbẹ̀ pariwo mọ́ ó ní padà ó ní ṣèwọ ti gbàgbé ni pé ìran ajá kan ò gbọdọ̀ jòkété ẹbọ lóníkòyí fi wọ́n rú ẹbọ lẹ̀sọ́ oníkòyí fi wọ́n bọ̀. African historical scholarship has come of age from a discipline that focused on the history of men, written by men and for men. The theoretical length and discursive breadth of the field has expanded tremendously since the 1950s to accommodate new topics across gender, across location, and across power configuration. We now know that a narrative on state and empire building that does not include women is incomplete, and that the history of children, of sexuality, of material culture can actually help us to understand the past in its fullest possible form. A history of Africa that neglects an ethnic group simply because it is labeled as a minority is as flawed as the one that does not recognize core aspects of history, such as how location shaped the pattern of external contact and religious and ethnic identities. So one actually does not need a college education to be able to come to terms with a simple definition of history as humans' past activities. So the history that we study is about the past as much as about humans that created the past. So my primary agenda today is not to refute or argue against this conventional definition of history. Rather, I want to argue that non-human creatures were part of Nigeria's past. Nigeria's past was not created or made by humans alone. Ibi tójú bá dé lópin ẹran. For centuries, the people that would later be known as Nigerians actually established relationships with animals for a variety of reasons. The dynamics of these relations change over time to accommodate the transformation in environmental, socio-political, economic, and even intellectual conditions that made life worth living for both humans and non-humans. As humans' history transformed over time, the conditions responsible for these histories also undergo a lot of transmutation. So the conceptual binaries of good and bad, day and night, success and failure, death and immortality have historically been shaped by humans' daily engagement with animals. And this daily engagement with animals is actually worth historicizing. So my presentation or lecture today is derived from a recently completed monograph, a book length. I started with the praise poem of a dog named Leke Wagbe. And this is the story of the dog. It was a dog in the 1830s and the 1840s. The owner was Tubeka. And during these numerous wars in Yoruba land in the 19th century, the Fulani were coming down to the southern part of Yoruba land. And there was, the warrior was asked to prepare a sacrifice to stop the Fulani incursion to the southern part of Yoruba land. And so that was how Leke Wagbe got involved. We all know that Okete, a kind of rodents, they are nocturnal animals. And the sanction was that the sacrifice had to be consumed by the Okete during the daylight, a difficult task. So what Leke Wagbe did was to actually disturb the tunnel of the Okete in daylight and force them to come out. So by doing that, the Okete were able to consume the sacrifice, and the consumption of the sacrifice allowed their prayer to be answered. So the following day, the Ibadan were able to successfully halt or stop the Fulani advancement on Yoruba land at the celebrated Battle of Osogbo in 1840. And it was after that particular episode that the praise poem was composed for Leke Wogbe. So again, it goes back to the question of how animals have manifested in human life. So I would like to acknowledge an unnamed woman from Oyaniwuru's compound of Osogbo who performed Leke Wogbe's praise poem for Wilibaya to record in the 1950s. And of course, I would like to acknowledge the true owners of all knowledge, the written and the unwritten, the spoken and the unspoken. For none of these actually belongs to me. Thank you.